Hey, how's it going, guys? Mr. Boss for the win here, and in today's GTA 5 video, we're going to be talking about some secret features and hidden details of some of the unreleased new vehicles that are going to be arriving over the next couple weeks and months in Grand Theft Auto Online. So these are the unreleased vehicles that are going to be coming as a part of the San Andreas Super Sport Series DLC. Really quickly, in case you're curious, this is the confirmed release order. So you can see here, we're going to be getting the Tesseract and the Ellie as a part of one release, the Issy Classic, Flash GT, and Sea Sparrow as a part of another, the Tyrant and Dominator GTX on the third, and the fourth being the RUNE Cheburek, the Dinka Jester Classic, and the Lampadati Michele GT. So that is your release pairings and order right there. So that's also the order that I'm going to be going on and through in this video. Now, quick reminder, in like maybe an hour from now, I'm going to be selecting the winner of the Shark card giveaway. It's $8 million, a freaking Megalodon card. So that's happening in my Twitter account right now. If you have not entered that, you should get over to that really quickly because by the time this video goes up, I'm likely just about to select the winner. But let's not waste any more time. Let's dive straight into this and let's get it started. All right, let's start with the Pegassi Tesseract, and there's a couple things about this vehicle that I think are pretty interesting. The first of which is that it's a fully electric car. So by the looks of it, you maybe might not think that, but yeah, this vehicle is fully electric. So when you're driving on the street, you're not going to hear any noise. It also means you don't have any transmission or turbo upgrades in the LSC, which is quite strange. I believe this car is based off of the Lamborghini Terzo Millennio, which apparently is a hypercar that's all electric. So this is pretty cool. It takes a little bit of time to getting used to, but it's very fast. Like, obviously, I haven't done any testing on this, but it's a very quick vehicle, which is really awesome. So that's the first cool thing about the Tesseract. The second thing is the wheels. The wheels are probably the most unique feature of this entire car. The stock rims actually have this like secondary color glowing underneath them. And that's what I want to talk about. You can actually change the color of the inside of the rims just by modifying the secondary color, which is kind of cool. So you can make it any color you want: pink, yellow, orange, blue, green, red, white. You can really create some cool combinations. Now, if you want it to make it look like there's no color there, just select black, and it will look like the rims are just default the way they are. Kind of gives you more of a stealthier look rather than this super bright color glowing on the inside. So that's the first vehicle right there, the Pegassi Tesseract. It's also going to be releasing, I think, in like a couple of days on Tuesday. So it's going to be very exciting to see how that vehicle performs. The next one is the Vapid Ellie. So the first thing we need to talk about with this is the name. A lot of you guys are wondering, why is it called the Vapid Ellie? This is an Easter egg of Eleanor, which is a very similar styled Mustang featured in the movie Gone in 60 Seconds. So Ellie, Eleanor, there's your connection right there. There actually isn't a whole lot of secret or interesting features about this. The only one that I could find is that the hood and the exhaust are, for whatever reason, changed together. Like, instead of Rockstar making separate options for the hood and the exhaust, they decided to put them together, which is, in my opinion, kind of awkward. It really does lead to some weird customization options that you can do. And I think this car has weird customization in general. So I'm not really sure what Rockstar was thinking, but for some odd reason, the hood and the exhaust on this vehicle are both changed together. All right, let's move on to the next vehicle that'll be coming out, and that is the Vapid Caracara. So this is like the Ford Raptor truck with the big minigun on the back. Now, I have some unfortunate news for you. So this vehicle can be upgraded at the LSC, but it can also be upgraded inside the Avenger or the MOC. Now, that's good news and bad news. The bad news here is that you actually cannot remove the minigun on the back. You can only upgrade it from, I believe it's like 50 cal to a minigun upgrade, which is really unfortunate because this is such a beautiful truck and we don't get many vehicles like this. But in my opinion, it's kind of ruined by having that default gun on the back. Like, it almost sort of takes away any civilian element to this vehicle. So I know Rockstar added this for their adversary mode, but it is a shame that you actually cannot remove the minigun on the back. To me, that's just a huge bummer. Up next, we have the Weenie Issy Classic. Now, there's not a lot to this vehicle that I found all that unique or all that interesting, aside from some of the customization that you're going to run across. Unfortunately, you couldn't make this into the exact car from Mr. Bean, and there wasn't a British flag livery for the roof either. that was slightly disappointing. I feel like that would have been a nice opportunity for Rockstar to sort of dive into some pop culture references. The one thing I do think is pretty unique, and this is only on a handful of vehicles, is the license plate. The license plate is very similar to the Volcar Fagaloa, as well as the Lampadati Pagale. It's kind of like old-timey and stretched out, and it looks really great in my opinion. I love license plates that look like this. So the RUNE AC Classic is actually a really fun vehicle, and so far I've been enjoying my time with it. So big ups so far to this vehicle. I like it a lot. Not a whole lot that's unique about it, but it is still a pretty cool car. After that, we have the Vapid Flash GT. Now, aside from this car coming default, already super heavily modified, there's one thing about this car in particular that's pretty cool, and that's one of its liveries. So to get some history on this, when Rockstar added the Drift Tampa, they added a livery that was incredibly similar to one of Ken Block's cars. This is actually one of his Drift Mustangs that he ended up using. And very similarly on the Flash GT, there's a livery that looks almost identical to one of Ken Block's cars as well. So Rockstar seems to have taken inspiration from him once again and have created a livery that is actually a really cool design. I think it's called like Ragarum 11 or whatever. And the one on the Drift Tampa is also called Ragarum. So that's sort of Ken Block's livery right there. And we get to see sort of another version of that and his vehicle recreated in this vehicle with the Vapid Flash GT. After that, we have the Sea Sparrow. Now, the Sea Sparrow is the only non-land vehicle of this update, and it is a pretty cool vehicle. It's returning from Vice City and San Andreas, which is quite unique. Now, this vehicle can only be stored and upgraded inside of the hangar. So that is something to keep in mind. Let's say the first experience you had with GTA 5 was after Smuggler's Run, so you don't know about the hangars. Well, in order to get involved with the Sea Sparrow, you're going to need a hangar. Now, really, the only major change you can make on the Sea Sparrow is adding either miniguns or you can add homing missiles. So this thing is going to be weaponized. It's almost going to be like the little buzzard that can land on water too. So I am pretty excited about this vehicle, having some huge Vice City throwbacks, obviously, so that one is going to be super cool. Up next, we've got another supercar, the Overflod Tyrant. So this is actually based off of one of my favorite cars in real life, the Apollo Aero, and there isn't anything all that special about this car. In fact, when I was customizing it on my live stream, which is some of the footage you guys are watching right now, there wasn't really anything all that particularly unique or interesting. The one thing that is very unique about this car is its downforce multiplier, which is the highest I've ever seen. It's 3.0. That is a huge downforce multiplier, which to me indicates this vehicle is going to be really good when it comes to performance of this car when it's finally added in GTA Online. So even though there isn't anything really tangibly all that exciting, I am looking forward to the potential performance aspect of this vehicle being really exciting. So that's the Overflod Tyrant right there. That's going to be the supercar that will be released way later on in the update. After that, we have the Dominator GTX. And unfortunately, I really couldn't find anything all that exciting about this vehicle. The one thing I did think was pretty interesting is the wheels. Now, at first glance, you might just think these are normal Chromatic Z rims. However, instead of just the exterior of the rim being painted, the inside and the sides too are painted as well. So I think that's a feature of the stock rim that actually comes default on this car, which is kind of cool. And once Script Hook and some of the other mods are updated, I'll be able to tell you guys more things like if you're able to change the color of the stock rims or not. So be prepared for another video similar to that whenever Script Hook is updated. But that's the one thing I noticed on this car. It's got really cool stock rims that are similar to the Chromatic Z, but are unique because they can be entirely painted, which the regular Chromatic Zs can actually not. So that's a pretty cool feature I thought I found on the Dominator GTX. The next vehicle is the RUNE Cheburek, and this one is so interesting. So the RUNE Cheburek is actually a new brand. We've never seen a RUNE vehicle featured in GTA 5 before, so that's kind of cool. It's also the cheapest car of this update, coming in at $145,000. Now, there's a couple interesting things about this. This car has cardboard customization. Like, I'm not even kidding you. You can do cardboard fenders, bumpers. You can even put a cardboard spoiler on there that will still give you a traction bonus. So this car is incredibly unique. I absolutely love it. I'm pretty sure this is like some Russian vehicle. I'm really not too sure. I think Rockstar is trying to make it a big parody car of Russia because there's actually a dash cam inside as well, which I thought was pretty funny. As I'm sure you guys know, most Russian cars have dash cams in them because of massive insurance fraud scams that occur in that country. And so a lot of dash cam videos you see online are from Russia. So I thought that was pretty funny. And they also dive into the Russian stereotype as well by including an Adidas livery. So obviously Adidas is not in the game, but Rockstar's version of Adidas is called Prolapse. And that is Adidas, and there's a livery for Prolapse on there. So the parody in this car is amazing. I think that this is going to be such a cool vehicle when it's announced, and it's cheap. It has amazing customization. Obviously, the performance is going to be kind of rubbish, but I'm very excited about this new car. All right, moving on to the next vehicle, we have the Dinka Jester Classic. And I'm a little bit disappointed in this vehicle because I feel like Rockstar could have done better with the customization options, with the class they put it in. They put it in Sports Classic, which to me is a real shame. And overall, I really couldn't find anything I loved or found secret or unique about this vehicle. So I'm a little bit disappointed in the Dinka Jester Classic. Maybe you guys aren't. Maybe you really enjoy it. I just feel like there was a lot of lost opportunities, like the fact it doesn't have liveries. The fact it doesn't have like a classic looking Supra spoiler on there is slightly putting off as well. So maybe on day one, I'll like this a little bit more. There's also a glitch going on with it right now. Like if you open up the trunk, one of like the taillights stays with the body of the car, which is obviously kind of awkward. So that right there is the Dinka Jester Classic. And the last vehicle we're going to be looking at today is the Michele GT. And kind of like the Dinka Jester, I really couldn't find anything all that unique or interesting about this car. So I think it's a really nice vehicle. Lampadati cars are obviously pretty cool. And I mean, there's unique customization on here, but there really isn't anything inherently all that unique about the vehicle. So once again, maybe when Script Hook is updated, maybe when I'm able to dive into these cars in a little bit more detail in single player, I can let you guys know about something interesting about this vehicle. But for now, just know it's a really cool sports classic vehicle by Lampadati. But anyways, that right there is all the information I've got for you guys in this video today. That is some secret features, hidden details, and cool things you might not have known about the unreleased cars in GTA Online. Let me know in the comments down below which unreleased GTA vehicle are you most looking forward to. I'd love to hear from you guys down there. If you did go on to enjoy this video though, a like rating would of course be awesome. And also subscribe to my YouTube channel if you are new. You like daily GTA 5 videos like this. With all the way, guys, like I said, thanks so much for watching. Take care, and I'll see you guys in the next video.